All right, so at the time of this recording, it's currently January 1st, 2025, and it is the new year. So I am using a new trading model that just requires me to use less on my chart. I used to have to mark out every single one of these fair value gaps. That was just part of my old model, and I realized I need to simplify things. So let's get right into why I took this trade and why it was a successful trade and how I trailed my stop loss effectively. Um, I took this trade at approximately 7:51, so exactly 7:51 p.m. Eastern timing, and this is an Asia session trade because it's after 6 p.m. Eastern timing, and it's before 12 a.m. Eastern timing. So it's a nice little Asia session trade, and I'm gonna zoom out to the 15-minute chart so you can see why I wanted to play the reversal. So obviously, I have a bullish bias overall, and the reason is because of all the sell side liquidity we swept over time, and the fact that this low is actually an SMT with the previous low. So I don't want us to actually come down here and sweep this low out. But basically, on the Asia session and what we've done previously, we clean up all these relative equal lows. So this is just sell side liquidity just for us to clean up and move higher. So that's just what I was looking for coming into the session. Now, if we do look over here, I have this order block marked out, but I didn't take this entry because I was on a practice account and I took the entry on the practice account and actually played to this high. And then I realized, okay, I can probably take this on my main account because price is displacing enough for me to potentially look at this high. And basically, this order block down here is so important because it's also an inversion fair value gap that was formed, right? And excuse me for the chart lag. I don't know why, but hopefully you learned something from this and ignore just the chart lag. But basically, we have this inversion fair value gap, and then we have this bullish order block created, and that's like a 2-minute order block, right? Like it's not like a full like 1-minute order block, but I guess you can look at it as like a nice little 2-minute order block, right? Like this wick or this wick, whatever. But basically, after that 2-minute order block, it's just straight displacement from there. So there's no entry model, there's no retracement, there's no institutional order flow entry drill. And finally, I see price comes up to this buy side, this intermediate term high right here, which also has a SIBI right here, right? And once we come to that SIBI, I notice we trade back into it, but we don't trade below this SIBI. We don't have any strong candle closes below this SIBI, and SIBI stands for sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. So we don't have any candle closes, and then I see this order block formation, right? And we close above this candle's wick. When I see that, the model is just way too clear to me, and I have to take the entry there and play towards the more further liquidity because there's just so much buy side liquidity that was engineered on this entire run lower. So I take the long off the order block, and we respect it perfectly with these two candles hardly closing below it. Then we displace higher towards this intermediate term high. That's when I take 3 of my partials off. By the way, I'm in a 10 micro trade, which is just a full contract, but it's 10 micros, so that I'm able to scale out of it easily. And yeah, what I really want to see next, though, once we do come up and take these partials, I want to see us displace past this, but we've already had like 3 candles that totaled for like 40 points, which is just insane in the Asia session. Like, you don't get this type of clean price action typically in the Asia session, at least in the last month of trading in December. So yeah, after this, we have this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency that I really want to see us respect, especially after we tap into it, just come up higher, tap into it one more time. But what's special about price tapping into it here is that it forms an order block, a bullish order block. And that bullish order block is really like what keeps me in the trade. I don't want to see us come down and even like manipulate these lows. I just want to see us stay above this bullish order block. And actually, you can see this is what the classic traders, what I mean, like entry level traders would just call a support zone. But honestly, it's like this order block is really just like holding it through. And the reason I can confidently say it's an order block and not a random support zone or something like that is because it's the same thing happened here, right? And when you see it twice, you can't unsee it. So basically, after that order block, then I'm confident in holding my position. I really just want to take off I actually wanted to take off my longs right here. The reason is because I like it's the Asia session, so I do expect a lot of manipulation before we actually finally reach the final price target here. So basically, I take my longs off. Um, I take full profits here as I see like a little bit of resistance. I actually take it before this big bearish candle forms and before this entire down movement, so that was pretty nice. But while these candles were displacing, by the way, off the order block, my stop loss was actually trailed over here, and my entry, if you remember, was all the way down here. So either way, I was securing over $700 profit on this trade, and the extra 300 was from this final price leg. So now that I've explained the trade, right, or actually I might as well just tell you this last part. We do retrace back to this order block, test it literally a third time, which is insane. 1, 2, 3, and then we come back, actually take out this first barrier of entry to this buy side liquidity, and then we finally run this trend line liquidity with a little bit of consolidation, then big bullish displacement leg, and looks like we might just continue consolidating for a little bit here until the London session. But yeah, that's a little trade recap, and here's a little screen recording of the actual trade.